State of Origin selection just around the corner, which probably leads us into a nice little hot take. Brent Reid, you got one for us?
Listen, I do. My man KP, he's playing Friday night. I've just got a feeling he's been a bit of a slow burn this season for KP. I reckon he's going to turn it on with Origin around the corner. I think Friday night he's going to have a monstrous game.
Will you text him, like saying good luck? Or?
I spoke to his dad today, chat with Andre today actually, yeah.
Did he pass on the regards from Uncle Brent?
He didn't know, I didn't send my love, but Kalen, I don't need to send it, he knows. I think he's going to turn it on, baby. KP.
Is there any concern, given Reece Walsh is out, there's no concern about KP not playing fullback? They're not going to shift Hamiso, Tabuai-Fidow.
I wouldn't have thought so.
He'd be in the centres.
You've got to pick KP.
Yeah.
Otherwise Reedy's going to cry.
He's the man.
He's the man?
KP, baby.
Oh. They won't look at a young centre. They won't look at a Rob Toyer or something.
All the controversy drama is in New South Wales. We'll get to that. Okay, we can stir plenty of trouble with New South Wales. There's no dramas in Queensland.
You might make the Queensland bench by the size of the players they're going for.
Oh, the little men.
The little men.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Kurt Mann playing that sort of Selwyn Cobbo utility, not the 14 role kind of thing?
It's an interesting one with Dearden in the side. Obviously, Dave Ricker had that story yesterday, and when I saw the headline, I just assumed that Kurt Mann's going to be the bench utility. I was fine with it, and then reading the story is like, they're going to have Dearden too. Interesting.
It's small, isn't it? They're going small.
He's
with
done that
Cotter
before
as well.
He's done that before, Billy, though, with the bench, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
How do you use, if you've got Kurt Mann as that bench utility who could potentially come on and play in the middle of the field or whatever he does, how do you use is Dearden there? Is he their break glass in case of emergency guy, right?
Kurt Mann will play 13, right?
Yeah.
That's the role that he will play.
So where does Dearden play, Mick? Hooker?
Could play hooker.
Yeah.
That's where you think he'd play unless there's another injury, but it'd be hooker.
Yeah.
And Kurt Mann's obviously played every position in the NRL over his time. That's why he makes sense as a 14. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic there.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah. Do you like it? I'm on the bench, but
what's that?
Do you like that bench?
Who else was on that bench that Dave had? Was it Lindsay Collins?
And
he worries me.
Ruben Cotter.
He hasn't played in a long
He's
time.
talking about Ruben Cotter.
And I think Lindsay's been a bit down this year, actually.
Agreed,
I don't think he's had a great year. So that concerns me a little bit. But aside from that, it's pretty good. Ruben Cotter's got to be in the side somewhere.
Yeah, but you're taller than those blokes.
What's your point, mate?
It's a very different
It's
Origin
not the
bench.
size of the dog in the fight.
Sure.
It's the size of the fight and the dog, Mick.
It's
and
interesting.
just remember, this is what you've always got to remember when it comes to Origin.
You're from Queensland?
We're Queensland.
Yeah.
Billy Tattoo. Let's move south of the border. Blues. Can you see any surprises?
Drama.
What drama? There's plenty of players to choose from, unlike you guys. There's no drama.
Too many.
There's no drama. There's
Who
no
are you
drama.
leaving out, Mick?
I'd leave out Dylan Edwards.
You would not.
I picked James Tedesco.
That's the most idiotic comment I've ever heard.
I picked him in my squad on the weekend.
You didn't?
Yes,
Did you?
Yeah. But I've said this on the show the other week. I said, if you pick Dylan Edwards, sweet. I'm happy for. I'm not sitting here saying he should not be picked.
But you would drop Dylan Edwards.
I'd pick James Tedesco.
I'd
pick James Tedesco.
What happened to loyalty, mate?
I
suppose it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Loyalty doesn't matter. Jake Trbojevic?
No.
Oh, mate, honestly.
What's your team?
What about Terrell May? This is an interesting
I had Dylan
one.
Edwards and Jake Trbojevic.
Who's in your halves?
Mitch and Nathan.
Oh, Jerome's the series
Nathan
winner.
would have been there. We all know that.
Oh, sure.
Right? Okay.
Mitch, after 2 games, you happy enough?
He wasn't very good last week, Mitch.
Oh, okay.
Shown up by Isaiah Katoa.
Was Jerome good? Was he in a 64-0 thrashing? Is that what you're saying?
No, New South Wales in all sorts, obviously.
Yeah.
What about Terrell May, who's been really good for a large part of the season?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be timing his run to perfection.
He's an interesting one because if he doesn't play, I don't think New South Wales have a debutant for game 1. So he'd be part of that bench rotation and under consideration alongside, Jacob Safidi.
Did you have who was in your team? Did you have Jacob Safidi?
I had Terrell May.
You had Terrell May.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the bench.
Yeah. I think it's either Jake or Terrell. I think one
Jake
of those
Trbojevic or
yes.
Terrell.
And I went with Jake because I think he deserves.
But then you start Jake.
Yes.
You can't have Jake off the bench, right?
No, Jake starts.
Yeah, Jake has to start.
Yeah. Who's your captain? He's your incumbent captain who won the series last year. But you just dispense with him. Doesn't
with 30
matter.
minutes off the bench.
Doesn't matter.
I can't wait till you lose game 1 and then you drop DCE, and then you drop DCE, and then we'll see what's going on.
We lost last year.
He's your captain, mate.
We lost, though. We lost.
He's been outstanding.
You missed the point, mate. Loyalty only counts when you win. If you lose, loyalty goes out the window.
Sure.
You won.
Okay.
We lost.
Is it a little absurd to stick to loyalty for a game that was 10 months ago?
With a different coach?
No.
And a different structure?
Doesn't matter.
Different coach, different style of play.
Does not matter.
That's obviously you're clueless if it doesn't matter. If
sorry.
It's a different coach.
How many series did we win in a row again? 8. Sorry. Yeah, you're
How
right.
did you play in? It's
I played for Queensland 1 game.
It's a different coach,
Soccer was
different structure.
Doesn't matter, mate. He's your captain. He lifted the shield last year.
I saw him. Well done.
He was your heart and soul. And you're just going to go, no worries, mate. See you later.
And lose game 1, pick him game 2.
Probably. Well, that's generally what happens with Jake. You don't pick him, you lose, and they go to him, turn to him.
Who's going to coach the Perth Bears? Day one, the mail was Brad Arthur has already bought his house there. He's already signed up. Everything's ready to go. All of a sudden, there's a little peel back now.
You had this yarn earlier in the week,
I think we all thought Brad was home and hosed. But they're going to go through a process now, and it's a 3-way shootout.
Love a process.
Brad, we knew Sam was in the mix, but Big Mal's the one who's come from left field. And he's got some support. So I wouldn't put a line through Big Mal yet. And I think Mal, my dream is Mal and Sam
and
in tandem. And
Port Hedland
he's
born.
Port Hedland boy, yes.
Yeah.
But Mal and Sammy together, as part of some form of succession plan, I reckon that would be amazing. Can you imagine the profile they'd have over there? I love it. I love the idea.
This pains me. I 100% agree with you.
Yes!
I think
we're on board.
I think Mal is the perfect coach for that side. I wouldn't have him coach in any other NRL side, like as a head coach. But head coach of the Bears, I think it works perfectly.
20 years outside from coaching
NRL?
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because I think he's going to need more than Sam Burgess as well. He's going to need another guy that's been an experienced assistant, that's been in and around the NRL setup, no doubt about it. Because
maybe even a couple, Mick, to be fair.
Yeah.
Most of them have like
should have 3 senior assistants. Yeah. Usually there's 2 senior assistants and a third.
Yep.
He probably needs 3 senior assistants, I'd say. But Mal will do everything in terms of profile.
Yep.
He's not a guarantee to sign players, but he's a guarantee to get a meeting with everyone, whoever he wants to talk to, he'll get that. He's really big on community, and we've seen him do that with the Kangaroos and from the bottom up. And I think all the things that this Perth franchise needs off the field, Mal will bring it, right? And he's good at bringing groups together. He's good at doing that stuff. And the hands-on coaching will be some of the others that he gets in. I think he's the most logical appointment.
Yeah. He's huge on culture too. And they need to get the culture right from day one because they're in a turf fight with the AFL. So you need to have a strong footy club with a great culture so that you make sure they don't go the wrong way, do the wrong thing. And Mel's big on that as well. So, it'd be interesting. I think we'll have a decision next week. I think it's going to be really quick. They make this call. And I think I'm hearing Mel's potentially got his nose in front now, which is, when you consider we thought Brad was done and dusted, that's really interesting.
And we've seen how hostile some of the media attention has been over there, and Mal will handle it.
It's like shooting Bambi, bagging
Mal will get on the charm. Like Sam will handle it beautifully. Like, Sam can command a room, and, he's been through it all before. So I think that partnership, that combination with... it's got to be more to the coaching staff, right? That's not obviously the finished product. Yeah. But them as a 1-2 punch with a few others surrounding them, I think it's perfect.
I think the other huge thing Sam brings is he knows Super League, and I think they're going to have to raid Super League because I think they obviously need player numbers.
Yep.
So he knows Super League really well. English players love him, respect him, adore him, right? So instantly you've got that in your favour. And rugby union, Sam knows rugby union as well. I mean, he didn't have a great stint in rugby, obviously, but he's played rugby union. He knows rugby union. He'll know players to go after. So I think that's where Sam's really advantageous for Perth.
Yeah, and that's the good in here is the fact that you're a direct flight back to England, 17 hours. Rugby's got to be careful because, they might be able to throw some money to keep some of the bigger names, but some really quality rugby players are going to get their heads turned by this. And I agree with your point about Mal that he's the guy that he's not going to say anything controversial, but he's going to be the guy that is going to get media attention. He's going to keep the Bears at the forefront of people's minds, and it's going to be so important when you're going to try and sign these guys. I think we've seen with Wayne Bennett at the Dolphins, and you're going to have this figurehead of, the Kevin Sheedy type at GWS. It all works in that regard.
With all due respect to Brad did a lot of media. Brad was always pretty open with the media, but didn't seem to come naturally. He didn't love it. And I think Mao would just command attention, command back pages, command spots on the news, and that's what this side's going to need.
There's a rumour doing the rounds. Well, it's not a rumour, it's been a call. Brent Reed, I need to get your thoughts on this.
Oh, here we go.
The Brisbane Broncos have been urged to ditch their moniker, the Bronco, and change their name to the Brisbane Boomerangs. Peter have put out a release today declaring that the Broncos should retire Buck, the live Bronco, the live horse. Go with the mascot.
Hey, come on.
And change their name to the Boomerangs.
You can't ditch Buck. Poor Buck. What are you going to do? Send him to the glue factory? Come on. You can't get rid of Buck.
Be careful.
Mate, he's part of the fabric of the Brisbane Broncos.
So is the issue what's the issue that they have?
I think they consider that cruelty,
They
right?
consider it cruelty with the pyrotechnics and the horse running around. And
He looks okay. I've never seen Buck upset.
you know him well?
He's had a few conversations with him.
Are you Wilbur to his Mr. Ed?
I don't know. It's seems to be going a bit far for me.
Should we send Peter a note and let him know what a Rabbitoh actually is?
Yeah,
Did
that's
they
true.
cross that?
Yeah. No, I think this is a bit over the
Next
top.
is going to be the Paul Bulldog.
No disrespect
that leads the
to-
team out.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's drama for the Bulldogs.
Peter do a good
Bring
job.
back the
but
berries.
They do a good job, but
We'll call
come
them
on. It's going a bit too far.
What do you like about him, Reedy?
What do I like about that?
Peter.
Oh, they protecting animals. Nothing wrong with that. I got a dog.
I've got a dog.
It's got a bucket on his head at the moment. It's had a bit of surgery, my dog. Getting around with a bucket on its head. You got a dog?
No, ours passed a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Peter, hello.
You want to talk
I'll tell you
about
what, you got a dog? You got a bucket on the head? It's so annoying.
Oh,
they walk
horrendous.
around bumping into things.
Yeah.
They come to give you a, jump on you, they hit you with a bucket.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Leave the poor dog alone.
sit there with their head up.
there could be money in that. Someone needs to come up with a better concept than the rigid, firm bucket. There should be like a flexible bucket. So when it hits you, it sort of folds on itself.
Like a foamy sort
Yeah.
of.
Probably isn't,
foamy bucket.
Probably isn't going to serve the purpose of stopping it from picking out stitches or that kind of thing.
There's got to be something better. Peter, there's something you should be working on.
Leave the Broncos alone.
Leave the Broncos alone. Solve the bucket issue.
What to watch this weekend? I'll tell you what, if there was ever a Friday 6 p.m. game, Knights v Eels might be it after the last couple of weeks.
I'm going up to that game.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm pumped.
Dylan Brown's first trip up to
Brown
Newcastle since signing with the Knights.
Yeah.
Thoughts on how he's going? What's going to go on there?
I think he's playing better, right? He's still not at the level I think he's been at in the past, but I think he's playing. I think Mitch has helped him, right? Mitch coming back.
And Dylan Walker.
And Dylan Walker.
Dylan Walker's been
very good, Dylan Walker. Actually.
Great signing.
You tipped that,
Mate,
didn't
he's
you?
been doing it for the last 3 years. No
You
one's
loved
been watching
He
because he
loved
played for
Dylan
the
Walker.
Warriors.
Is he in your Origin team? You normally pick him.
Not this year. No.
Oh,
Connor Watson.
Oh, of course,
But
one of your
he's
men,
been in my team for
one
the
of your
last
ABC
3 years.
cohorts. You couldn't leave him out, could you?
Continue.
So it'd be interesting to see the reception. He'll get a good reception up there, even though he's on the opposition. He probably needs to fire up though and have a good game, given the focus that will be on him and the amount of money he's going to get when he goes there. The $30 million man.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for Knights fans if he does come out and brain it.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those ones where you go, yeah, well, at least we can see why we paid a ridiculous amount of money for him.
Do you think Parramatta just need to go with Newcastle in the first half to have any chance? Because after last week's debacle...
Yeah, that was bad.
You know Adam well. How would he have reacted to that this week, you reckon?
Well, I don't think... I don't know how he would have watched that second half. That was...
So bad.
Inept. Right, from Newcastle. It was embarrassing from them. But they went alone in the second half fade-outs last week. It was crazy. But, yeah, I don't know about the Knights. They just keep making... The concern for them is that they keep making the same errors. I saw glimpses in Parramatta's attack last week where you could say, okay, you can start to see where Jason Ryles wants to go with this side. They're probably not there yet or upskilled enough to do everything that he wants to do, but you sort of started to see the ball movement and the pace and things that they want to do, but it's a tough one to pick.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Tony Matali, young prop, get a start. He had a bit of time up at Newcastle, but he's a Western Sydney guy who's been working his way, bit of an edge forward now into the front row. But Parramatta, they've got some injuries. Their front row stocks are a bit short, so Newcastle, obviously, without Leo Thompson. That's going to be tough as well. Zac Lomax, is 80 minutes of football enough to get him an Origin place? It's a bit risky, right? As an Eels fan,
it's a bit risky, but I'd put him. I would, as long as he gets through the game, I'd put him in.
Who are you leaving out? Reedy?
I'd leave out Ty.
Ty?
Yeah.
And then who are your centres?
Latrell and
Tommy?
Steve Crichton.
Steve Crichton.
So who's your other winger?
So no
Tommy.
Trbojevic.
Tommy instead of Brian Toto.
Okay.
So no Jacob Carraz?
No.
Oh, whoa, that's very dismissive.
Well, no, I think those blokes are ahead of him.
Yeah, I
to
agree.
be fair.
Yeah.
I think
if you're picking the
he's
team
banging
2
down the
weeks, if
door.
you're picking the team 2 weeks ago, he's in.
Yeah.
Because of all the injuries.
Well,
right?
Zach was so good last year. Like, as long as he gets through the game this weekend, I don't think you can leave him out. I mean, I think the hard decision is
who's at centre, who's at wing.
no, centre's fine. I think Latrell after last week has got to be there, and Crichton's been the best
Latrell
centre
and
in the
Crichton.
comp, right?
Yeah.
I think the issue is when you got if you're going to fit Tommy in the team, it's going to have to be on the wing, and that means leaving out either Toto or Lomax. That's the tough decision.
Hold on, Mr. Loyalty from 10
I know.
months ago.
Maybe Tommy shouldn't be there. I don't know.
What about Bradman Best?
What about him?
Well, he brained it last year, won the series, Loyalty, and
But
now,
Latrell wasn't there for the first 2 games, was he? When he came in back
but
for the third
Bradman
one?
Best was there and helped win him the
but
series.
again, this is my point. Same with Nathan Cleary. They weren't there because of injury. That was their spot. They weren't there because of injury.
That opinion is built on a house of
that's an
cards.
asterisk. That's a caveat.
Caveat.
It's a asterisk. Out injured, loyalty rewarded.
I've gone Toto and Crichton on my wings.
Have you?
With
Crichton on the wing.
Crichton on your wings.
He's played plenty of wing at
Okay.
Penrith.
And you got what Tommy and
Latrell at centre. Yeah.
Really? It's intriguing, isn't it?
Not really.
Crichton's been the best centre in the comp.
The last 3 weeks has been outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was really slow to start the year. To be fair for Stephen, defensively he was really good.
Okay.
The last 3 weeks he's been outstanding.
Yeah.
Right, but if you pick him, I'm not going to argue with you putting one at centre, one
Who
at
did you
wing.
say? Crichton and Lomax on your wing.
Toto.
Ty. So no Lomax.
No Lomax. It's a toss of the coin, that one.
Yeah.
And Carraz is so close. He's so close. As I said 2 weeks ago, you don't like him.
I'm listening to this and thinking, how can we win? We're going to be massive underdogs again.
You're loving
We're
that.
massive underdogs,
Oh,
Queensland.
Stop.
You worried?
Mate, massive underdogs.
Who plays centre for you, Blake?
We're no
Because you
chance.
can't pick Valentine.
Put a
Holmes.
line through us.
Who's going to
We
play
can't
centre?
win. What do you mean?
Valentine.
Hammer.
And?
Why can't Val play?
You watched him lately?
I think he was pretty good a couple of weeks ago, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I'm sure I did sideline for a game.
Yeah,
he was
won
really
good.
good.
Yeah, I think he's been pretty poor this year.
Well, who's your other centre then?
Gagai.
Jackson Purdue, Rob Toya.
Ooh.
Rob
Jackson.
Toya
Rob
intrigues
Toya.
me.
Does he?
Rob Toya.
It's a bit, I don't know. I'd
I
like to
love
see him
him.
play a little bit more footy, Rob.
Yeah, he's
He'll get there one day. He's that good.
game 2.
Who'd you say?
Jackson Purdue.
Oh, he's good. He's playing 6 this week.
Playing 6, isn't that?
Which is that's his position.
Yeah.
He is a 6. Yeah.
What do you...
No dramas up in Queensland. It's pretty. Our team picks itself. We can't win anyway, guys. Sorry. Underdogs.
Code Sports, we've been running an exclusive player agents poll on all things rugby league. Hasn't caused any headaches whatsoever, so
no drama.
we'll move straight into it. But one of the questions we asked the agents were, what was the strangest request you've had from a client? Because let's be fair to them. Some of these agents have to be minders, second
Babysitters.
fathers,
Babysitters.
babysitters to players. So what about this one? An agent has revealed that a player wanted 400 tickets for his debut,
Wow.
and they used them all. How many do you get usually?
20, isn't it?
4? Or for your
I think you
debut?
got
Or do
20
you get
for
more for your
your
debut?
debut. Yeah, I
Okay,
think
yeah.
you get 20
You get
for
4
your
per game, I think.
400 and he used them all.
400 tickets, used them
Wow.
all.
It's a lot of brothers and sisters, isn't it?
Like cousins.
Well, considering we were looking before and match for milestone games, 50, 100, 150, 200, all that, you get 2 tickets for your family, don't you? Flights, accommodation, and that's outside the cap.
Yep.
So that 400, that's who's footing the bill for that?
Well, did they ask for freebies? Probably the club. If they've asked for freebies.
Well, that had to go on the... Well, good
Oh,
question.
maybe Cat Roar.
Good
Cat Roar,
question.
hello.
I want to know, one agent said one of the things he had to deal with was stopping a player from confronting a journo who wrote crap about him. You two have been fronted? Or
Could have been any of us, really. Could have
Peter
been any of
Bedell?
us. Peter Bedell.
Bomber?
Yeah, Bomber.
Really, why would you stop the player? Shane Spencer's agent didn't stop him the other week when he gave it to me. But anyway.
It's interesting, some of the things that have come up with this, including a player's mother wanted a commission from the deal.
Oh, there's some good ones. There are some good ones.
Yeah, well, I'd say that some blokes have. Caelan's father represents him in contract talks, so
That's a little bit different.
I'm not sure he takes it. I'm sure he does it for nothing, right? Because they're a very close family. But yeah, that's interesting that a mother requested a commission.
And you're looking into the Caelan contract for the fact that he's the NRL's highest paid player, does not have an agent.
Doesn't have an agent? No. Well, he's got an agent for his commercial deal, so he's got an agent who looks after his endorsements and things like that. But his father, Andre, and him do the actual negotiations with clubs. They've tried agents, had an agent in the past, didn't go well. So, and you're a really tight family. You know, obviously, Andre's always been at his side throughout it all, and their view is we can handle the negotiation. Ultimately, it all falls to Caelan. I spoke to Andre about it. Caelan makes the final call, but they just feel that they don't need an agent. You can't argue with the rationale. He's gone out and got the biggest deal at the time, the highest paid player in the game. So they've done a pretty good job.
6.5%, Mickey, of 1.3 million is not bad that you save annually.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of cash.
It is a lot. And it's interesting, you know, I guess it'll be interesting next time Caelan's off contract, if he does consider rugby union or other clubs, does he look for an agent then? Because, you know, that's when it does get super complicated when you've got rival offers and you got to arrange to go see him and things like that. So that will be interesting to see how it plays out next time.
Yeah. Now, are you guys familiar with any famous number 10s in rugby league?
Number 10s in rugby league.
Only for the fact that a player agent has revealed that a player insisted that if he was going to go to another club, he had to wear the number 10 because it had always been his number.
So good.
Number 10, who would that have been?
No, let's not speculate.
Go on. Take one stab. You'll have one guess.
No.
Really?
I can't think of who it would be.
Let me think.
And it might have been a
long
few
time
years ago,
ago,
right?
yeah.
Who's the front? Well, you can't guarantee it anyway, can you? What if they get picked on the bench?
Yeah. He wants that. Well, you could do like the old Brian Smith trick. You name him,
and
and
switch
then put
that's
him on the
true.
bench. And remember, you used to have the massive benches, and you could just Super Coach would not have been able to survive back then.
You know what I reckon it was? Does it say it was recently or?
Nah.
I was
Doesn't
Woodsy. Aaron Woods for sure. You reckon? Oh, he's a prima donna. Aaron Woods, one of the great rugby league prima donnas.
Yes, yes.
Woodsy, that's you, buddy. We know, mate.
If he takes off that shirt, is there a 10
Can
tattooed
you
on the
imagine the
back?
carry-on if he wouldn't get number 10? Actually, I think he was number 8, wasn't he? Most of the time. But I reckon it was Aaron Woods, certainly.
It's outstanding to see. Any of the big takeaways you've heard from your agents in dealing with them over the last couple of weeks?
I'll sleep ready.
Too busy putting out brush fires and no. I think the agents have enjoyed having a say though. I mean, 52 of them replied. I'm not sure other people have enjoyed their say, but I think they've enjoyed having a say in the big issues on the game. I think what's interesting is a lot of the changes the NRL wants to make in terms of ages for signing players, transfer windows. The agents have backed that. Yeah. Which I find really interesting. And the NRL should use that.
They should be taking that when they talk to the RLPA about this, because not only just backing it, they were behind them on a lot of things around the ages of scouting and the signing of players, making sure it's you're at a respectable age that fits in with your Harold Matts, your SG Ball, and your Malman, all your cups on both sides of the border, right?
Yep.
Good contribution.
Thanks, Michael.